Hey everyone, I am freezing cold in my room. I tried texting one of my female friends. She did not reply to my text message, so fuck it. I'm gonna do part 23 of A Dog's Purpose. Hang on, give me a second. My dad's making a lot of noise. Hold on. Good grief, I wish these walls were soundproof. Okay, let's get a move on with this book. Jacob turned and looked at everyone watching him, and I sensed he felt embarrassed. What? If Y2K is as bad as they say it's going to be, we're going to need every K9 unit we can get. Be like Rudy Kane all over again. Ellie's not that kind of dog, Jacob said coldly. I strained at the sound of my name, cautious as I did so that all the men at the table were looking at me. I felt uneasy for some reason, just as some of the men seemed uncomfortable with Jacob's stare. When they started talking again, it was to each other, annoying Jacob. I nuzzled his hand once more, and this time he responded by scratching my ears. Good dog, Ellie, he said. Find Wally. Ew. Sorry, I shouldn't have called for my hand. Ugh. Anywho, let's get this story on the road. Find Wally evolved into just find. Jacob and I could go somewhere, and sometimes I'd be given something to sniff, an old coat or a shoe or a glove, and I'd have to find the person who belonged to the item. Other times there would be nothing to sniff, and I coursed back and forth over a huge area, altering any time I pick up the scent of something interesting. I found a lot of people who weren't Wally, and sometimes they were obviously not informed of the game and would call, "Here, boy," or otherwise react to me when they saw me. I always show Jacob these people, and he always praised me, even if the people I'd found weren't bright enough to know what was going on. So my hair's kind of a mess. Anywho. Okay. The point, I realized, was to find people and to take Jacob to them and let Jacob decide if they were the right people or not. That was my job. I had been with Jacob for about a year when he started taking me to his work every day. A lot of people dressed like Jacob milled around and were mostly friendly to me, though they drew back respectfully when Jacob told me to heel. He took me to a kennel and back with two other dogs, Jamie and Gypsy. Jamie was jet black and Gypsy was brown. Despite the fact that we were all caged together, my relationship with Cammy, it says Cammy, my bad. Sorry. Hang on, let me reread the sentence. Other dogs, Cammy and Gypsy. Cammy was jet black and Gypsy was brown. Despite the fact we were all caged together, my relationship with Cammy and Gypsy were different than I'd ever had with other canines. We were working dogs and didn't feel free to play much because we were always needed to be ready to serve our masters. Most of the time, we just sat at the fence. Gypsy worked with a policeman named Paul, and we were gone and was gone a lot. And sometimes I watched Paul and Gypsy work in the yard. They did it all wrong. Gypsy would just smell between bones and piles of clothes and would look for no reason, though Paul always praised her anyway, pulling out a package from the items and telling Gypsy she was a good dog. Cammy was older and didn't bother to watch Gypsy, probably feeling embarrassed for the poor dog. Cammy worked with a policewoman named Amy and didn't go out much. When he did, though, he went out fast. Amy would come get him, and they'd leave at a run. I never knew that Cammy's work was, but I suppose it wasn't as important as find. Where are you working this week? Amy asked Paul once. Back out of the airport until Garcia comes off sick leave, Paul told her. How's life on the Bomb squad. Quiet. I'm worried about Cammy though. His scores have been a little off. I'm wondering if his nose is going. At the sound of his name, Cammy raised his head and I looked over at him. What? He's what, 10 years old now? Paul asked. About that, Amy said. I stood up and shook myself off because I could sense Jacob coming. A few seconds later, he walked around the corner. He and his friends stood and talked while we dogs watched them wondering why they didn't let us out in the yard to be with them. Suddenly I felt some excitement off Jacob. He spoke to his shoulder. 10-4, Unit 8 Colored Sits responding, he said, while Amy ran over to the gate. Cammy jumped up. Ellie, Amy commanded, come. We were all out of the yard and I was up in the truck in just moments. I found myself panting, picking up on Jacob's excitement. Something told me whatever was happening was far more important than finding Wally. 19. Jacob drove us to a large flat building where several people were gathered in a circle. I could feel the tension in them as we pulled up. Jacob came around and petted me, but left me in the truck. Good dog, Ellie, he said absolutely. I sat and watched him anxious as he approached the group of people. Some of them spoke at once. We didn't notice her missing until lunch, but we don't have any idea how long she's been gone. Marilyn's an Eskimo's patient. I don't understand how she got away with no one seeing. While I sat there, a squirrel climbed down the trunk of a tree and buries itself frogging for food in the grass. I stared at it, astounded at its a dog's desire for the fact that I, a vicious predator, was a mere 10 feet away. Jacob came to the cage and opened the door. Heel, he commanded, giving me no choice to catch the squirrel. I snapped to it, time to work. Jacob led me away from the people to a corner of the front yard of the building. He held out 2 shirts that smelled reminiscent of Grandma a little. I stuck my nose into the soft cloth, inhaling deeply. Ellie, find. I took off, running past the knot of people. She wouldn't have gone that way, someone said. Let Ellie work, Jacob replied. Work? I carried the sense memory of cloth in my mind as I held my nose up in the air, cursing back and forth as I'd been trained. Then there were a lot of people's smells, dog smells, car smells, but I couldn't find. Frustrated, I turned back to Jacob. He read my disappointment. That's okay, Ellie. Find. He began walking down the street, and I leaped ahead, cursing up and down the yard. I turned the corner and slowed down. There it was, translated, coming to me. I zeroed in on it and raced ahead. 40 feet in front of me, lying at the base of some bushes, her scent was clear. I turned and went back to Jacob, who had been joined by several police officers. Show me, Ellie. I took him back to the bushes. He bent poking at something with a stick. What is it? One of the officers asked, coming up ahead. Jacob. A tissue. Good dog, Ellie, good dog. He grabbed me and wrestled with me briefly, but I sensed there was more work. How do you know that's hers? It could have been dropped by anyone, one of the policemen objected. Jacob bent down and annoyed the man behind him. Okay, Ellie, find. I could follow her scent, now faint but traceable. It went ahead 2 blocks, then turned right, getting stronger at a driveway, made an abrupt right, and I tracked her through a open gate to where she was sitting on a swing set, moving gently. There was a real sense of happiness falling from her, and she seemed glad to see me. Hello, doggy, she said. I ran back to Jacob. I could tell from his expression that he knew I found her before I got up to him, though he waited for me to reach him before he reacted. Oh, okay, show me, he urged. I took him to the lady on the swing set. I felt Jacob's relief when he saw the woman. "Are you Marilyn?" he asked gently. She cocked her head at him. "Are you Warner?" she replied. Jacob spoke into a microphone on his shoulder, and soon we were joined by the other policeman. Jacob took me aside. "Good dog, Ellie." He pulled out a rubber ring and sent it bouncing across the lawn, and I jumped out and brought it back, holding it out for him to grip and tug on. We played for about 5 minutes, and my tail whipped the air. As Jacob shut me in the cage on the back of the truck, I could feel the pride coming off of him. "Good dog, Ellie. You are such a good dog." It was, I reflected, as close as Jacob could come to you restraining adoration I once felt from Ethan, and from it I realized that today I truly understood my purpose as Ellie, not just to find people, but to save them. The worry that poured off the knot of people in front of the building could not have been more clear, just as the relief when we returned was clear. The lady had been in some sort of danger, and by finding her, Jacob and I saved her from the danger. This was what we did together. That was our work, and that's what he cared most about. It was like the game I played with Ethan, Rescue. The next day, Jacob took me to a store and purchased some fragrant flowers, which he left in the truck while we did some work. Wally was hiding on top of a strong-smelling trash dumpster, but he couldn't fool me. Then Jacob and I went for a long car ride, so long I became tired of holding my nose up to the side of the cage and laid down on the floor. When Jacob came to let me out, there was a heaviness in him. Whatever was always hurting him inside seemed stronger than ever. We were in a big yard filled with stones. Some mood, not sure what we were doing. I stayed next to Jacob as he walked to a dozen yards, carry his flowers. He felt and pulled the flowers down next to one of the stones. The pain twisted in him so deeply that tears fell silently down his cheeks. I nuzzled his hand, concerned. "It's okay, Ellie. Good dog. Sit." I sat grieving with Jacob. He cleared his throat. "I miss you so much, honey. Sometimes I don't think I get through the day knowing you're not going to be there when I get home," he whispered harshly. I lifted my ears at the word home. Yes, I thought. Let's go home. Let's leave this sad place. I'm on K9 patrol right now, search and rescue. They don't want me on regular patrol because I'm still taking antidepressants. I've got a dog. Her name is Ellie, a 1-year-old German Shepherd. I wag my tail. We just got certified, so we'll be going out now. I'll be glad to get off the desk. I've gained about 10 pounds from all the sitting. Jacob laughed, and the sound of it was particularly such a sad trout laugh, with no happiness in it at all. We remained there, nearly motionless, for about 10 minutes, and gradually the feeling from Jacob shifted, because less raw pain, more like I felt when Ethan and Hannah would say goodbye at the end of the summer. Something similar to "I love you," Jacob whispered. Something similar to fear. "I love you," Jacob whispered. Then he turned and walked away. From that day forward, he spent a lot more time away from the kennel. Sometimes we would ride on airplanes or helicopters, both of which vibrated so much they made me sleepy, despite the noise. "You're a chopper dog, Ellie," Jacob told me whenever we rode on the helicopters. One day we even went to the biggest pond I ever seen, a huge expanse of water full of exotic smells, and tracked a little girl down the sand to playground full of children who all called to me when I approached. "Want to play in the ocean, Ellie?" Jacob asked me after I showed him the little girl, and her mother and father took her away for a car ride. We went to the pond, and I splashed and ran in the water, which was very salty when the spray came up into my nose. "This is the ocean, Ellie, the ocean," Jacob laughed. Playing in the ocean, I felt the thing that had such a tight clench on his heart loosen just a little. Running through the shallow water reminded me of chasing Ethan on his sled. I had to lunge over to make any progress, exactly the same jaunt I used to in the snow. It made me realize that though the sun circles suggested a couple of years had passed. There was never any snow here.